Coming to paperback and e-readers this April, Isis: Revenge of the Cyber Goddess. The goddess next door must take on the threat of a deadly digital diva driven to destroy the world in this action-packed all-new Isis series adventure. Get Isis: Revenge of the Cyber Goddess in paperback and e-readers this April. There are two roads that people can go on, the easy way or the hard way. Now, the easy way isn't really that easy. You will have to put some work in, but if you listen to those who have wisdom, that you won't have as hard a road to go on as those who go down the road of the hard way. Now, those who have to go down the road of the hard way, they wind up refusing to listen to those who have wisdom, like many who are a part of New Black Media. And because these people refuse to listen to those who have wisdom, they wind up on a much harder road and wind up getting next to nothing for their work, because they wind up taking a shortcut that leads to them going absolutely nowhere. Now, an example of this is what happened in the 2020 election. And in the 2020 election, you had numerous voices of your New Black Media shouting towards black people, don't vote for Joe Biden. Unfortunately, many of these black folks, they were so spellbound by a white man paying them some attention, and that they wound up listening to his rhetoric talking about how the orange man was so evil and how we needed to get the orange man out of office in order for things to be better. And these black people, caught up in their emotions about your Joe Biden, rushed to the polls, not understanding that they had a position of leverage. And because they didn't understand they had a position of leverage, what happened to your black folks is they got no tangibles in exchange for their vote, and they really didn't understand that you need to get something tangible when you're going out here to vote for a candidate. So they ran out here on emotion and practically gave your Joe Biden numerous states and counties, and he wound up winning the election all based on the black vote all across this country. But many of those black people, because they did not want to listen to those who were wiser, who were a part of New Black Media, they went out here and voted on emotion, not understanding you need to get something tangible in exchange for your vote, and you need to have an agenda so that you can ensure that you get all of the tangibles you demanded from said candidate. Because if said candidate wants your vote, they need to give you something for it. And if your Donald Trump is so bad, you should have gotten something tangible in exchange for a vote for Joe Biden to deal with this pandemic. But your black folks, again, because they don't want to listen to wisdom, they went out here and voted on emotion, and now they have absolutely nothing in exchange for their vote. Meanwhile, groups that supported your Donald Trump, like your Asians, they got an anti-Asian hate crime law passed, and these people did not vote for your Joe Biden, and many of them voted for Donald Trump. And that is a slap in the face to many of these black people who were looking to go the easy way by trying to get this covert contract by saying they'll go vote for Joe Biden and he'll support them, looking to get social approval from a political process. So we have your black folks, they always have to try to do things the easy way, but then they wind up making things harder for themselves, because what happened with the election of Joe Biden is you got an anti-Asian hate crime law passed that is going to target black people in large numbers and lead to any sort of action made against an Asian person, leading to that winding up with your arrest on federal charges. And that is the screw job that your black people received for going out here and exchanging your vote for with no sort of tangibles tied to it. And this is just one example of black people and them trying to go the easy way, burning them. But you can't explain this to many black people because when you try to explain things with logic and reason, they approach you with emotion. And when they approach you with emotion, what they do is want to go out here and bicker and argue because they are going to defend this white person who is paying attention to them or this position that they believe is right to the death. And this is in the face of facts that are presented directly to black people. And this is why black people wind up having to learn the hard way all the time because they refuse to go out here and listen to an individual who is presenting wisdom to them and trying to give them some knowledge based on experience or the experiences they have seen and observed. You try to explain this to the black person, but the black person, they are just so belligerent and defiant that they just will sit there and learn the hard way and wind up sitting there getting burnt, like many of the Biden supporters who are now realizing that they have a bad case of voters' remorse, and they have this bad case of voters' remorse because they sat there and got caught up in their emotions, and now they have absolutely nothing to show for their votes but your immigrants getting an executive order passed for them, Asians getting an anti-Asian hate crime law passed for them, and other groups getting tangibles. And the group that voted and put this Biden in the office and practically gave the left the Senate by giving them Georgia, the group black people are getting absolutely nothing but ignored by your Joe Biden. And that's all because your black people, in most cases, have hard heads, and hard-headed people who refuse to listen, they oftentimes wind up having to learn the hard way because they just want to sit there and get caught up in their emotions and insist things are going to go their way. When you try to insist things are going your way, they're going to go nowhere at all. And what's really sad about a lot of black folks is they go out here and do the exact same things and expect a different result. Now, the definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing and expecting a different result. And that's what we saw with the 2020 election. Here you are electing the vice president of a man, Barack Obama, who did nothing for you. And then you're going to expect the man who was under the man who did nothing for you for 8 years to come and do something for you in 2020 by just voting on emotion straight down a ticket, and you wind up with a big bag of nothing once again. And you're sitting there thinking, oh, I've done something. No, you've done nothing. And you're sitting there thinking this is an accomplishment. And now a lot of people are sitting there wondering what if they've made a mistake. But the whole thing was people tried to tell you beforehand. And a smart man, when another person is sitting there telling him, okay, you need to avoid doing this, they sit there and listen. And the reason why they sit there and listen is because they understand if this older person or this other person is telling me something like this, they probably are coming from experience. And if they are coming from experience, then I need to sit here and listen so that I don't get burned. That's what the smart man does. He sits there and he says, okay, this guy is talking to me because he's been here before. And if he's been here before, he doesn't want me to be here. And if he doesn't want me to be here, then maybe I need to listen so that I don't get burnt the same way he got burnt. Unfortunately, many black people, they get caught up again in their emotions and they listen to a lot of glib rhetoric. And because they get caught up in glib rhetoric, they wind up sitting there getting involved with people who don't have their best interests at heart and are not interested in providing us with the tangibles that we ask for or looking to do things on terms that benefit us. And because we're looking to gain social acceptance, what happens is we wind up missing out overall on the best in life, because you keep looking for somebody to socially accept you in business transactions, and you're looking for social acceptance from other groups when you need to learn to value yourself. And this also really makes me think about other things that you try to tell black people about, like your Kevin Samuels, the high value man. Many of these black folks, you try to tell them this is a con man, similar to Oprah Winfrey. They do not listen, and sadly, they have got to learn the hard way, because they're looking to find an opportunity through this gimmick and what this guy is saying to gain access to women and relationships, but they're going to have to learn the hard way, similar to what happened with Joe Biden and the 2020 election, because another big problem with a lot of black folks is they want to be told what they want to hear and not what they need to know. So that's why black folks are always getting burnt, because part of the easy way is people telling you what you want to hear, and because they make you feel good, you don't really understand that they're making you feel good so that they can get ahead at your expense. And that's a big problem with black folks, because they always want to feel good, they always want to get ahead easy, not understanding that anything in this world worth having, you're going to have to put some work in, and anything worth having, you're going to have to go through something to get it. So a lot of black folks, they want to go out here and get things the easy way, but there is no easy way in this world, especially in this white supremacist, gynocentric world, and anybody telling you that there's going to be an easy road is lying to you. So a lot of black folks, we suffer in ways because of us not really understanding how the world works, and a lot of us are looking for shortcuts, because yes, the world is racist, yes, the world is white supremacist, and that makes it harder, but we make it harder on ourselves by going out here and looking to go down easy roads by using gimmicks and tricks, or looking for other people to do things for us. And when you go out here and look for these gimmicks and people to do things for you for a shortcut, you wind up going further to nowhere. And that's the saddest part about black folks, is they always sit there looking again for the easy way, but the easy way makes it harder for us as a people, because those shortcuts and those gimmicks, those things wind up with us winding up being left further behind, because those who pitch the gimmicks and the tricks to us, they are doing this because they want to get ahead at our expense as a people. And that's why we are in the situation we're in, because we have groups of us in the community who just sit here and let people tell us what we want to hear. And because we don't want to go through the pain of hearing what we need to know, this is why we have not grown as a people in 50 years. Now, if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to try some of my positive SJS Direct fiction and nonfiction, like the ISIS series, the E-Steam series, the John Haynes series, and the books of the Spinsterella trilogy, you can find those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them on Smashwords, the iBook Store, and Google Play. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available on Kindle, E-Steam No Good Deed. The Devilish Diva scares some stick-up kids straight in this action-packed E-Steam series comic. Get E-Steam No Good Deed on Kindle for 99 cents today.